Right then, championship predictions for game week 4. Here we go. So before we start, I just want to look at the table and just comment on Stoke being at the top still with not the easiest run to get there, to be honest. Southampton and Derby, two teams that I thought would be doing well this season, they had to beat, and then Sheffield Wednesday is what it is, but yeah, Middlesbrough as well beat Swansea, Millwall, and Norwich. So they're on a good run currently. As for the bottom of the table, teams that are underperforming so far, Sheffield United definitely have 0 points still. Derby County underperforming in my personal opinion, and Ipswich and Wrexham. I guess people expected Wrexham to do well with Norwich as well. But anyways, I'm going to get straight into predicting for this week. Starting off with a big Friday night kickoff. Leicester City versus Birmingham. Now, obviously, I'm uploading this today on the day of the kickoff, but I'm currently in London doing some away work, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to watch this one, but I do want to. But yeah, this is a huge game. One of the biggest in the Championship, definitely. You've got the best relegated team from the Premier League, most would say. And then you've got the best team coming from League One, who look to be trying to do an Ipswich and going straight up. And they've had a decent start, so long may that continue. Friday night football, away. Can they pick up 3 points? Obviously, a little bit of a rivalry there as well in the Midlands. I'd back Birmingham to win this one. By the way, just to mention, I only got one score prediction right last week, and that was Millwall. So, yeah, but it was better than the Premier League one, but not as good as this one. So let's see if I can get more this week. Starting off with a 2-0 result for Birmingham. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to say 2-0 to Birmingham, and I'm just going to have to hope so. That's it's a big game. There's a lot of decent games on this week, to be honest. So I don't know who's going to make the thumbnail, but that definitely makes the thumbnail. But as for the rest of them, I don't know. Let's move on to Saturday, though. As always, 3:12:30s, and the rest are 3 o'clock kickoffs with no games on Sunday or anything like that. So, yeah, not too bad. There's a big fixture, though, and I think I've decided what's going to make the thumbnail. But anyways, Middlesbrough and Sheffield United. Sheffield United, obviously, a poor start under Ruben Sellers. Middlesbrough, not doing too bad at all. So I would favour Middlesbrough to keep that form running. Same for Sheffield United. I would love them to keep that form going. I'm going to say a big 1-0 win. Another 1-0 win against Sheffield United, I'm predicting. Because don't get me wrong, they're not great, but they're not bad either. They're just lacking something. But 1-0 seems fair enough. Middlesbrough, congratulations on your win. That is almost guaranteed. Now they're not going to win because I've said that. Sorry, Middlesbrough fans, you've been jinxed. Moving on to another 12:30, QPR and Charlton. I tell you what, Charlton are getting a lot of the TV fixtures. They'll be raking it in so far. Really tough to beat. They've managed another good performance. What's my hair doing? Forehead reveal. They've managed another good performance. I'm going to say that they definitely beat QPR because QPR have had a terrible start to the season and they're probably one of my favourites to be in the bottom 4. Maybe going to get relegated, maybe just survive. But I'll say Charlton 2, QPR 0. So that's a big Charlton game. Good win there. In fact, no, I've changed my mind on the thumbnail fixture because it has to be this one. Stoke City versus West Bromwich Albion. West Brom having a decent start. Stoke obviously having a brilliant start. Did lose in the week to Bradford in the Cup 3-0, but we won't look into the Cup games because I think that was a heavily rotated side, as was obviously Birmingham's that lost to Port Vale. But I would like to say a draw here, but I keep doubting Stoke, and I think I'm going to regret it if I do it again. So I will say 2-1 to Stoke. I'm just going to give it in their favour. They're playing well. Really surprising performance, to be honest. I have an unreleased video of me predicting what I thought had happened before the transfer window like I did for the Premier League, but I never edited it, so I didn't release it. I'm pretty sure Stoke were down near the bottom somewhere, so By the way, speaking of prediction videos, transfer window closes at the end of this week, I believe. So, well, at the end of the month, which is the end of the week. Yeah, so I'll make the video, the prediction videos then for the season. But yeah, let's move on to the 3 o'clock kickoffs now. Starting with Blackburn and Norwich, another decent fixture to be honest. This is one of the meaty championship fixtures that people wait for, and this is a decent one. I'm surprised this hasn't been picked for TV, but then again, I can understand. Sorry about the cut. As I was saying, Blackburn and Norwich, huge game. Tough one to predict, really. It's one of them that we all look forward to. I'm not sure if that's been in the video yet. I can't remember where it got cut off, but I'm probably going to say... Let me actually click onto this one. I don't think I can say it just looking at the fixture. I need to see who's more in form. Blackburn beat Hull. They lost to Birmingham. They lost to Bradford in the cup, which we said we were reading. So, pardon me, they lost to West Brom. Norwich have lost to Southampton, lost to Middlesbrough, and beat Watford. So pretty even, really. Is it crazy to say 1-1? I don't think it is. We're gonna go with a 1-1 draw for the green teams. And that is a decent prediction in my opinion. Nothing too crazy, not overestimating, not underestimating. But if we move on to Bristol City and Hull City, I think there's a definite winner in this match, and it has to be Bristol City. I'd predict them to beat Hull 3-0. I was thinking about 2-0, but I think I'm going to have to say 3-0. Big win there for them. Improving goal difference again. Overall, Bristol City, I didn't think they'd be pushing for playoffs again, but I do think that they are a contender. We can't take them out of the race just yet. They're performing decently. As for a team who's not performing decently, Ipswich Town are at home to Derby County. Now, I have these as my promotion favourites before a ball was kicked, and my mind is slowly being changed. 2 draws and a loss, not great league form for a Premier League relegated side. But then again, I don't think any of the teams that got relegated have been too good, to be honest. Like, this is quite a balanced year for the Championship, I'd say. Fairly level playing field overall, for me, anyways. But I do think Ipswich will pick up 3 points here, if I'm being honest. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win at home. I'm not convinced by either side, but I think that Ipswich Town should have more goals in them than Derby. Millwall and Wrexham next. Big game, as you know, back in Millwall for a top 6 at least, and they're the only prediction I got correct last week, so we must bear this in mind as well. Going against Wrexham, who I said beat Sheffield Wednesday 3-0. They drew 2-2 at home as well. This time they're away. I think Millwall have to win this one. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Millwall win, and Wrexham really have found their level being somewhere between League One and the Championship, in my opinion. They've still got pull, they're still bringing in decent players, but they're not getting points up here, and I don't think that they'll be promoted. I never did, to be honest. I never had Wrexham going anywhere past mid-table, and I think that was the correct thing to say. People were overhyping them. I know this is the 4th game week, and I might be knocking them before they've even started, but I do genuinely think that this is their level, and they should be humble here. Oxford and Coventry. I said Coventry would not get another high-scoring game after a 5-3 affair. They went on to win 7-1. And they're against Oxford here, who have one of the 2 teams to not pick up a point yet, I believe. I think that's what I said at the start. I can't quite remember. I'm not going to look, though. I'm just going to purely just base it off of that and say Coventry get 4-0 win. Goals after goals after goals from Coventry. Frank Lampard's doing something right. They might be my title favourites at the minute, to be honest. Portsmouth and Preston North End. Preston not been too bad, to be honest. They've picked up a few good results. I think they'll do it again away at Portsmouth. They might just have themselves a 1-0 win here, and I think I'll just leave it there for Preston. I don't want to look too much into it. Portsmouth are a decent side, but Preston have been showing that they mean business this season compared to last. As for teams who are showing they mean business, Sheffield Wednesday versus Swansea City. Now, Sheffield Wednesday with a brilliant point against Wrexham. and then going to beat Leeds on penalties in the cup. It was a tough watch, but those that under 21 team, which is what it was, if we're being honest, they had a 30-year-old goalkeeper, a 31-year-old striker, and then just a bunch of 20, 19, 18, even 16-year-olds on the pitch. So fair play to Sheffield Wednesday. They've got fight. I still think they're going down, but after that performance and the high that they must be on, they might be able to nick another point here against Swansea with home advantage. It depends if the fans actually go to the game this time and back those players, which I can understand the protest, to be honest, but I think that these young players do need a bit of support, and I think it's down to the fans to do that. And then it's a really tough one to call, to be honest. I don't think I've got a place to tell people what to do because it's got nothing to do with my club. So fair enough. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw here for Sheffield Wednesday. Another point on the table, and that is genuinely impressive for the situation that's going on. Last but not least, it's Watford v Southampton. Now, Southampton are probably the best side of the promoted bunch so far, which if someone told me that last season when they were going on to break Derby's point record, which they only just beat, I'd have probably laughed at it, but here we are, them beating Norwich 3-0 and beating Wrexham 2-1 and drawing to Ipswich, so they've got the most points out of the lot. I will say Southampton go on to get another win here. Nothing too crazy, just a 2-0 win. And I think I've given a lot of clean sheets this week. And as we know, Championship clean sheets not really going hand in hand, but we'll see. One of them might be right. Let's see if we can at least match last week's and get one right bang on. And that is all 12 fixtures, so make sure to leave a like. It helps push the video out to people who want to see it, and also comment down below what you think will happen this week, and if you get any more predictions right than me, then clearly you should have the channel. We're pushing for 100 subscribers, so also please make sure you hit that subscribe button. As I say, working away today, so any comments I probably won't reply to straight away, but I'll be home by the Friday night, hopefully, so when I'm watching Leicester and Birmingham, I'll reply to any comments that I have. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.